What's going on, my friends? So decided to do a quick video while I'm driving. Don't worry, hands free, seatbelts on, eye on the road, phone's right in front of the windshield. Anyways, so there is something that I think everybody should have in their vehicle. It doesn't matter, guy, girl, whatever, doesn't matter what make, model. Every single person needs this in their vehicle. In fact, I have one in my vehicle. Actually, I gotta get one in my wife's vehicle. I have one in our Mustang. I have two at home, and that is jump starters. But guys, how many times have you had this issue where your battery's dead or someone else's battery's dead that you see, in a parking lot or something, and you don't have jumper cables? Well, jumper cables are great, but they are annoying because you got to connect them to your battery, to their battery. What I'm talking about is a jumper cable power bank. So you guys know the power banks that you can charge your cell phones and other devices, right? Well, they make power banks that are like that big. They're not overly bulky, not overly heavy, that you can actually use with your vehicle to jumpstart your battery without having to connect to another vehicle. So and why this is fresh on my mind is because this morning I left my, from, I don't know, the last time I drove this Explorer, I left the dash cam on because I have mine set up that I can control it with a button to turn it on and off. So I left my dash cam on and it drained my battery completely. So luckily, because I have these battery banks, I was able to simply pop up my hood, connect it, press a button on the battery bank, wait about 15 seconds, and start my vehicle right away. Now, the only downfall to that, for my specific situation was it's 6:30 in the morning. Luckily, it's, not right at other people's houses, but it's still in the vicinity. And because when your battery's dead and you open up your vehicle, it depends on what your vehicle is, but because my battery was completely dead and my vehicle registered as my, as locked, when I opened the door, popped the hood, and connected the jumper, of course my alarm starts going off in the Explorer. So I had to, the quickest thing to do if your alarm goes off in your vehicle is to start your vehicle up right away. That's the best, quickest way that I've found to do it. So, I did that, but that's besides the point. So luckily, my alarm was only going off for about 5-6 seconds, which felt like 20 minutes. But yeah, it is so good to have these power jumper cables because you don't need anybody else. You just connect it to the positive and negative, and you jump your vehicle, and you're good to go. So I always have mine charged. I always keep it in the vehicle, and something that would have been a pain in the butt because I would have had to actually know how my Explorer was parked. I could not have got another vehicle to jump it. So, I might have, but I'd had to pull the Mustang out in the rain, in the drizzle, in the mud, in the grass, and then connect it, and then jump it, then pull the Mustang back in the garage, and then close everything up, and then be on my way. While this, I simply grabbed it, connected it, jumped it. It probably takes you, from the time that you open up your hood, connect it, and it probably takes you a minute, once you've done it before. A minute, and hassle-free. I'm telling you guys, I'll put a link in the video description of different ones that I use. I use I use actually a couple right now, but there's a couple main ones that I really, really like, that have always been really reliable. So I'll put them in the video description. You guys can check them out. But I thought I'll just do this video because, maybe you've never had the problem of a dead battery. Well, good for you. I've had that issue a couple times in my lifetime, and power banks have, jumper banks have been, amazing. And another thing is, if you have one, you can help someone that you see very easily. Instead of, wasting the time trying to connect to theirs in your vehicle. All you got to do is grab your power bank and be like, hey, I got you, no worries, I'll jump you. Pull that out, you know, and did a kind deed, and it was a simple kind deed that probably would have been a hassle for them to try and find someone with cables, or to jump it, or to have it towed, or whatever. So it's just awesome to have. And again, I'll link in the video description. Wasn't gonna make a video, but this morning that alarm triggered me to make a video. But yeah, so one thing I have to admit, on this 1998 Explorer, it has a good alarm system. So the thing about this Explorer is the alarm system, you know, just going more, I'm gonna ramble on now so you guys can exit out if you want, but you know, with the Explorer, because I had, and I would assume this would work on or this issue would happen with almost all other newer vehicles. If your vehicle is locked and your battery is drained, and then you open your door, you know, I'm talking completely drained, because normally there's enough power in your vehicle, you know, if your battery's drained, that you can unlock and lock your doors with your remote button. But some, you know, some vehicles, you know, if it drains the whole way, you got no power. There's just nothing there. So, in that circumstance, I would assume that when you connect jumpers, the alarm's going to go off, because it then says, oh, the door was open when the vehicle was supposed to be locked. So, anyway. And that's the thing about this alarm, I don't know. I'm sure it's the same for all vehicles, but this one on this Explorer just seems loud. Of course, 6:30 in the morning, you know, alarm going off on your vehicle, yeah, it's gonna seem loud.